Hello, well if you watched the last lesson, the last thing I did was batch render a simple animation that we've done. So now I want to show you where they are. If you go into your Maya folder, which we talked about I think in the first or second lesson, then you'll see that they're in the lessons project, the one you just created, there's an images folder. Click in there and you'll see the rendered result of the images that you just rendered. And we'll create little thumbnails for those so you can see what's going on. And as you can see, it's now created a series of frames that repeat one after each other and have the extension lesson underscore 1, 2, 3. Now the reason I did an underscore was to separate the number from the rest of the file. And this is very important in programs, compositing programs. It will look for numbers and take that sequence and put it into a sequence, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you're loading this into a compositing program, it will be very easy to take these frames and load them one after another, so that you get a sequence put together as a movie clip. Now, as I said before, Maya will export in AVI, but I tend to always output them as single images, because they're just easier to modify and change, and you don't lose any of the quality. So output them as the images and then take them into, if you're going to take them into your compositing program, put them together in there and play around and edit them within that, which would be a lot more powerful than just outputting straight as a movie file. So that's where your batch file renders all are. So again, have fun playing around with the technique so you know about how to deform the objects by squashing them, extending them, you know how to rotate them, you know how to create lights, you know how to move the object, you know how to animate the objects now, individually or as a group. Remember, you can select two objects and animate everything at the same time. It's very useful. Most objects that you create are made of hundreds and hundreds of different shapes, and you don't want those shapes to all split up. Well, actually we group them, so it's a little bit different, but in theory they're actually all individual components animating at the same time and in their own little world. But we'll talk about grouping a bit later as well. Okay, that's it for now. This is a short video just to show you this part of it, and I'm going slow over these parts because they're the bones of this program, and it's important that you understand them and you play around with what you know so far, because it's going to get very difficult later to remember everything that's going on. So I'm taking it in small bite-sized chunks. Okay, see you in the next lesson, where we'll actually look at grouping. I think that's quite important, next stage to look at. And then after that we'll start getting into the more meatier aspects of Maya 7.